Hello and thanks for joining. I have a set of games from Kindle's big tournament recently. We played this for like a couple of duels, like maybe a couple foil Mox Diamond, Korean Abrupt Decay, a couple other pretty nice prizes, and then a pack of revised FBB Italian and a regular old pack of revised, which I was shooting for that day and knew that I was going to crack open the pack. Anyway, we got a food chain versus a Stompy deck here. This is a Dragon Stompy deck, but I will let you guys know first off, I know that this guy does not play the best card in the archetype, which is um, Rabble Master. He does not have any goblins in the deck. He's actually just mostly on that Trinisphere. He's playing 3-ball, Ensnaring Bridge, Magus of the Moon, Blood Moon, and Chalice, and he has way less threats than I would prefer. Anyway, the Food Chain deck plays 3 to 4 Abrupt Decay main, so not too concerned about Chalice Trinisphere. He will need to fetch kind of carefully because the Food Chain has the luxury of not really caring about Blood Moon at all, provided that you have a draw that sort of lets you fetch appropriately. I'm okay with his first turn fetch for Underground Sea, especially because he's got a Force and he has a Deathrite Shaman out, but this Misty really should get Island and or Forest. It should be Forest. See if we have the first of our 3-mana plays here. I wouldn't be surprised if he throws out Blood Moon now. It appears that he didn't have a turn 1 Chalice, which he would have attempted. Yeah, okay, so with a turn 2 Magus of the Moon getting forced here, I don't know. I'm not sure that he really needed the force, but his hand is allowing him to do it. We'll see if he grabs a basic here. Maybe he's on the plan where he's just going to try to force every play, and I don't know, man. That's a little sketch. What if your Deathrite dies? He slams a Blood Moon on you. Okay, I honestly I can't really get behind this sequence here. He used his fetch land at the end of the turn in order to get blue in order to cast a Brainstorm without the ability to fetch away 2 cards. And I don't see why we're doing that. And I see Leovold Baleful Strix in his hand. I don't think he has another land, so if he wants to cast Baleful Strix and draw a card, he can do so. But no, cast the Leovold instead. You already know what that second card down was. So that gets him towards a land 1 turn sooner, but I really feel like we would have been happier to have a Leovold in play. And then next turn we could have cast that Manipulate Fate, I believe, that he just drew. And here's a 3-ball. The 3-ball is quite annoying, but it's not like force or bust, so he's going to let it come through here. We found a land for the turn. So the Strix did get him into that land 1 turn sooner by getting him towards Manipulate Fate, I believe, which is apparently what he left 2 cards down on the Brainstorm. I still feel like if we started attacking with a Leovold this turn, we would be in a better spot. And we'll see if this is a basic. I have to imagine that he's going to grab basic Forest here. Okay. So pays 3 for Manipulate Fate. You may as well not be shuffling. I assume he's going to grab 2 Griffins and an Eternal Scourge. There it is. And if we can find a food chain soon, then the game will just be completely wrapped up. I don't think that the Stompy deck has any way of interacting with this. He didn't even slow him down with a Chalice, and our Magus of the Moon was forced, and Blood Moon never resolved, etc., etc. Another thing, I really feel like Rabble Master and or a fast Chandra or something, you need to put a clock on the dude. Okay. So the bridge actually doesn't stop Food Chain at all, because his win con is Walking Ballista. But he elects to... No, you can't force that. There's a Trinisphere. Oh, guys. Oh, no. That's inexcusable, guys. Oh my god, that is so bad. Apologies, everyone. Here's the food chain. Make 3 mana, cast a Mist Hollow Griffin. He'll make infinite mana. He's just going to show that he can put these on the board. And also that he has Walking Ballista. So this will induce the scoop. Okay, so first off, the Trinisphere Force of Will interaction didn't actually matter that game, but that's very sloppy, and I apologize. Shouldn't be letting players have such gross errors in the game. Also, if you're a red Stompy player, like, you should know how Trinisphere affects Force of Will. Okay. Anyway, the way the Trinisphere works is it checks upon casting of the spell how much it costs, and if it's anything under 3, then it becomes 3. So Force of Will says that its casting cost can be reduced to 0, provided you exile a blue card and lose 1 life. Then Trinisphere checks, and he asks for 3 additional generic mana. Trinisphere is actually quite a good card against things like Daze and Force of Will. And they basically make your opponent play on their main phase, and then not leave up free counterspells when it gets back to your turn. It's not lights out for Food Chain. The deck honestly didn't really care about that. And this hand, if he keeps it, this is a hand where you could get Blood Mooned out hard. I guess he still has the Force. He has the oh. See if this is a turn 1 Moon. So exiles Chandra. Makes 3 mana. Attempts to drop Magus of the Moon on turn 1. And that will have to get forced. Because when somebody drops something like that on their first turn and you untap and play Underground Sea Go, you lose the game. Oh, does he have a fetch land? If that's a Polluted Delta, then he's probably fine. Okay, so that Polluted Delta can go grab Island at some point. We'll see if the Stompy player, what his follow-up is. The deck is really just a series of must-answer cards that will completely lock their opponent out in various ways. And if you keep a hand... Oh! I complained about no Rabble Master, but he's there. I'm so happy. I'm really happy now. I'm less happy that he came to the store playing Rabble Master with no Goblin tokens. But the Food Chain player will go down to 17 to fetch up some land and try to deal with this Rabble Master here. I think if he's trying to get Abrupt Decay mana up, then he actually has to get Trop or Bayou, and um, next turn when he untaps and puts down an Underground Sea, then I'm pretty sure that it's game on for a Blood Moon ending the game. But of course, the Stompy player has to have it; doesn't always have it. So differences between this game are mostly that, like, there's a Rabble Master causing problems from the very beginning of the game, which is really going to slow us down here. And he elects to cast a Deathrite, which is kind of cool. It allows a block for one of the goblins. However, it does mean that the Rabble Master is going to get extra damage and an extra goblin will appear. I believe he has to take 5 here. And we gotta correct that. Okay, so without a follow-up play, I'm less enthusiastic about the Stompy player's ability to win here, because now that we have a Verdant Catacombs and an active Deathrite out, we have mana for Abrupt Decay. We can stop taking damage from that Rabble Master. Now, when a Rabble Master is dead, that means that his token doesn't have to attack every turn, right? It's his something on that card text that says that the Rabble Master makes them really war hungry. Is that right? Other goblin creatures you control attack each turn. Okay. Rabble, rabble, rabble. And the Chalice on 1 no longer actually matters. There's the food chain. She does not have a follow-up, and there was no Manipulate Fate this game. Mags of the Moon. Okay, so now this will grab basic island, and Magus will resolve. So, both players are in decent positions here, but I feel like with the food chain already having resolved, and that Chalice not really mattering, I think that the food chain player just needs to get a couple of draw steps and then use his food chain to take over the game. That is, unless Stompy player like lands Chandra or something next turn, something really good. Or is his hand 2 copies of Mist Hollow Griffin? What is it? Yeah. Make a bunch of mana, cast another Mist Hollow Griffin, go. So the Stompy deck actually will have a lot of trouble dealing with that if he doesn't land a bridge. it's possible that we don't even have to go infinite here as the food chain player to win. Oh, he has the bridge, and he's going to empty his hand a little bit, so he's gone down to 2. So any draw, I guess, any draws of cantrips are dead because of the chalice. He would like to find Walking Ballista to win the game on the spot, but he can't really cantrip for it. Maybe he can find Abrupt Decay and then cantrip for it. But I think that the food chain player is going to take this pretty easily, even so that Trinisphere comes out, and then I'm an Aloran player, right? So immediately I get terrified of Trinisphere because it completely shuts the deck off. But food chain doesn't care about it at all. So Trinisphere is actually, I don't want to call it a dead card, but I mean when you play it late in the game, it's dead. Yeah, just make some infinite mana. Why did you slow roll the Walking Ballista? Okay. Alright, so well done. The food chain player takes it, and we'll go on to the next round, 1-0.